The city glittered like a promise as New Year's Eve approached, glass towers lit in gold, champagne flowing in places where decisions worth millions were made with a smile. At the very top of the Harrington Group building, Evelyn Harrington stood by the window of her corner office, fingers clenched around her phone. She was the youngest CEO in the company's history. Ruthless in boardrooms, untouchable in public, and utterly terrified in private. Behind her, soft footsteps approached. "You wanted to see me," came a calm, warm voice. Evelyn turned. Nora Blake, her executive assistant for 2 years, stood there with a tablet pressed to her chest. Intelligent eyes. Unassuming elegance. The only person who spoke to Evelyn without fear. "Yes," Evelyn said quietly. "Close the door." Nora did, her brow knitting slightly. "Is everything okay?" Evelyn swallowed. She had rehearsed this speech 100 times, but none of those versions accounted for the way Nora's presence made her heart lose rhythm. "My board wants me married," Evelyn said bluntly. "Before midnight on New Year's Eve." Nora blinked. "I'm sorry. They think a stable public image will secure the merger. They've already lined up candidates." Evelyn laughed bitterly. "Men who see me as a trophy." Silence stretched between them. Then Evelyn took a step closer. "Marry me." The words hung in the air, fragile, dangerous. Nora's breath hitched. "Evelyn, you don't mean that." "I do," she said, voice breaking for the first time in years. "A contract marriage. One night. Public only. I'll make sure you're protected. Financially. Professionally." Nora searched her face, seeing not the CEO, but the woman underneath, the loneliness, the fear of being owned by expectations. "You're asking me to pretend to love you," Nora said softly. Evelyn shook her head. "I'm asking you because I already do." The confession slipped out like a secret finally tired of being kept. Nora's heart pounded. Slowly, she stepped closer, close enough to feel Evelyn's warmth. "I'll marry you," she whispered, "but on one condition." Evelyn's eyes widened. "Anything." Nora lifted her chin, gaze steady. "After New Year's Eve, we don't pretend anymore." Their faces were inches apart now, breaths mingling, the unspoken pull undeniable. Outside, fireworks test launched into the sky, an omen of everything about to change. Nora didn't sleep that night. She lay awake replaying Evelyn's voice, "I already do," as if the words had branded themselves into her chest. By morning, the city was wrapped in winter fog, and nothing felt unreal except the fact that she was about to marry the woman she had secretly loved for over a year. They met in Evelyn's penthouse to discuss details. It was supposed to be professional. Contracts lay neatly stacked on the glass table. Lawyers waited on standby. Yet the moment Nora stepped inside, Evelyn's composure cracked. "You came," Evelyn said softly as if surprised. "I said I would," Nora replied. Her voice was steady, but her heart wasn't. "I keep my promises." Evelyn gestured toward the couch. "Sit. Please." They did, close enough that their knees brushed. The contact sent a quiet shock through both of them. "This is just for appearances," Evelyn said, forcing formality. "After midnight, we can file an annulment. No one will question it." Nora turned to her then. "Is that really what you want?" Evelyn hesitated. For a woman who commanded rooms effortlessly, silence was her tell. "I don't know how to want more," she admitted. "Every time I've trusted someone, it's been used against me." Nora's gaze softened. She reached out, hesitating only a second before placing her hand over Evelyn's. "Then let me show you something different." Evelyn's breath caught at the warmth, the certainty. "This isn't fair," she whispered. "I can't promise." Nora's gaze softened. She reached out, hesitating only a second before placing her hand over Evelyn's. "Then let me show you something different." Evelyn's breath caught at the warmth, the certainty. "This isn't fair," she whispered. "I can't promise." "I'm not asking for forever," Nora said gently. "Just honesty. One night where we don't lie to the world or ourselves." By the time New Year's Eve arrived, the world believed Evelyn Harrington was engaged. The announcement shattered the media cycle in minutes. Headlines speculated wildly, cameras camped outside the building, and the board finally exhaled in satisfaction. Evelyn handled it all flawlessly, smiling, composed, untouchable. Only Nora knew how tightly she clenched her fists when no one was looking. They rehearsed in private, how to stand, how to touch, how to look believable. It felt ironic, practicing intimacy when real emotion simmered just beneath the surface. "Closer," Evelyn murmured one evening, adjusting Nora's position before the mirror in her penthouse bedroom. "They'll photograph everything." Nora swallowed and stepped in, their bodies almost touching. Evelyn's hand settled at Nora's waist, professional in intention, disastrous in effect. "Like this?" Nora asked. Evelyn nodded, but didn't move her hand away. In the mirror, they looked perfect, power and poise, elegance and quiet strength. A power couple. A lie dressed beautifully. "You're tense," Nora said softly. Evelyn laughed under her breath. "I'm always tense." Nora turned, facing her fully now. "You don't have to be with me." Evelyn met her gaze. Something unguarded flickered there. "That's the problem," she said. "I want to be." The air shifted. Heavy. Charged. Evelyn leaned in first this time, her kiss more certain, more honest. Nora responded instantly, fingers curling into Evelyn's blazer, pulling her closer. The kiss deepened, not rushed, not hungry, but aching with everything unsaid. Evelyn broke away abruptly, breath uneven. "We shouldn't." Nora rested her forehead against hers. "We already are." Evelyn closed her eyes, surrendering for just a moment. "After this night," she whispered, "everything changes." Nora smiled sadly. "It already has." That night, as fireworks exploded in rehearsal across the skyline, they lay side by side on the bed, fully dressed, hands barely touching, hearts wide open and terrified. They were pretending for the world. But falling for each other was terrifyingly real. The evening arrived faster than either of them expected. Champagne glasses shimmered under crystal chandeliers, the room crowded with faces that either wanted something from Evelyn or simply adored her name. Nora stayed close, moving like a shadow, subtle, quiet, utterly hers. Evelyn noticed everything, the way Nora's hair caught the light, the soft sway of her dress, the way her lips curved when she smiled at someone, even if she didn't speak. Every look, every breath, pulled at her in ways she couldn't explain. "Ready?" Evelyn whispered, brushing her fingers against Nora's hand. Nora met her eyes. "As I'll ever be." They walked into the center of the room like a team, like a couple in love, or at least the perfect illusion. Cameras flashed, glasses clinked, and whispered congratulations filled the air. Evelyn's chest tightened, a mix of nerves and exhilaration, but whenever her hand brushed Nora's, the world fell away. The countdown began. 10, 9, 8. Evelyn's pulse raced. She glanced at Nora, whose eyes were wide, luminous. 7, 6, 5. She felt her hand squeeze Nora's as if letting go could undo everything they'd started. 4, 3, 2, 1. "Happy New Year," someone shouted. Fireworks exploded outside, painting the night sky in bursts of gold and red. Evelyn turned to Nora, the world melting around them. Without thinking, she captured her lips in a kiss meant for no one else, not for the cameras, not for the board, just for her. It was electric, tender, and bold all at once. Nora responded immediately, pressing closer, hands threading into Evelyn's hair. Time slowed. Every sound faded except the pulse of their hearts, matching in rhythm. When they finally parted, faces flushed, breaths mingling, Evelyn rested her forehead against Nora's. "I didn't just want a fake marriage," she confessed, voice trembling. "I've wanted this, all along." Nora's eyes glistened. "I was hoping you did," she whispered. Their lips met again, softer this time, lingering in a kiss that promised more than just one night. Outside, the fireworks lit the sky in celebration, but inside, a new kind of fire had ignited, one neither of them wanted to extinguish. After the party, the world no longer mattered. The flash of cameras, the murmurs of colleagues, the cheers of strangers all faded into insignificance when Evelyn closed the penthouse door behind them. Nora leaned against the door for a moment, letting out a long, quiet breath. "That was intense," she murmured, voice laced with wonder and a touch of nervousness. Evelyn, normally composed and untouchable, let herself slump against the door frame. "You have no idea," she admitted. Her hands trembled slightly as she reached for Nora's, pulling her closer. "I've never wanted anything or anyone like this." Nora tilted her head up, brushing a finger along Evelyn's jawline. "Then stop pretending," she whispered. "You don't have to hide behind the CEO mask here. Not with me." The words were like a key unlocking something deep inside Evelyn. She closed the distance, pressing her lips to Nora's again, but this time, the kiss was slow, deliberate, intimate. Hands roamed freely, brushing against bare skin beneath layers of silk and fabric, as if both of them were discovering each other for the first time. Nora's fingers tangled in Evelyn's hair, tugging her closer. Evelyn's hands slid down to cup Nora's face, thumbs brushing over flushed cheeks. Their hearts raced, breaths mingling, lips meeting in soft, lingering kisses that grew bolder with every heartbeat. Evelyn pulled back just slightly, resting her forehead against Nora's. "I don't want this night to end," she whispered. "I don't want it to just be pretend." Nora smiled, eyes dark with desire and tenderness. "Then don't let it be," she said. Slowly, deliberately, she leaned in, pressing her lips to Evelyn's once more. This kiss was different, full of promise, full of the intimacy that only comes when two people finally stop holding back. Time slipped away as they explored each other in quiet, electric moments. There was no pretense now. Only the undeniable pull between them, a heat that had been simmering under years of unspoken attraction. By the time they finally separated, both were breathless, hearts pounding, foreheads pressed together. The first hints of sunrise began to seep through the windows, painting the city in soft pinks and golds. Evelyn whispered, almost to herself, this changes everything." Nora's hand found hers, squeezing gently. "Good," she said, a soft smile playing on her lips. "Because I'm not going anywhere." Sunlight spilled across the penthouse, warm and golden, brushing over Evelyn and Nora as they lay entwined on the couch, still wrapped in the lingering haze of last night's closeness. Neither spoke at first. Words felt unnecessary when every glance and touch said more than sentences ever could. Evelyn was the first to break the silence. I don't know what to do now," she admitted, voice low and vulnerable. "The board will expect the annulment, the world will move on, but—" She trailed off, her thumb tracing small circles on the back of Nora's hand. Nora lifted her head to meet her eyes. "But what?" Evelyn swallowed. "But I don't want to move on. I don't want to let this end. With you. Ever." A smile curved Nora's lips, soft, genuine. "Then don't," she whispered, leaning forward to press a gentle, lingering kiss to Evelyn's forehead. "We can figure out everything else later." Right now, we just have this. And that's enough. Evelyn's fingers tangled in Nora's hair as she pulled her closer, pressing a kiss to her lips, slow and filled with intention. Each brush of their mouths, each soft sigh, deepened the connection that had started as a contract and grown into something far more dangerous, far more real. They talked then, quietly, about dreams, fears, and the unspoken past. About love that had been hidden for far too long. About the life they wanted together, one step at a time. And when words failed, they kissed again, soft, lingering, intimate, the kind of kisses that left a warmth deep in the chest and a flutter in the stomach. By the time the sun fully rose, the city was awake, oblivious to the quiet revolution happening in Evelyn's penthouse. Two women had crossed a line that no boardroom or headline could erase. Evelyn held Nora close, heart finally unburdened. "We have to face the world," she murmured. Nora pressed her lips to Evelyn's once more, eyes glimmering. "Let's face it together." And in that moment, amidst soft laughter and gentle kisses, Evelyn realized that for the first time in her life, she wasn't alone, and she never wanted to be again. The city sparkled below, but above it all, in their quiet corner, love had claimed its victory.